Good morning, everyone. So in the last class, we are trying to discuss with our interface concepts here. So the interfaces we identified. So first one interface is called collection, and inside the collection we identified some of the method. And the second interface we identified list interface and set interface, cutting the point, and sorted set, navigable set, and so we identified queue interface, and finally we identified with the DQ interface. So first we'll understand the diagram here. So how this particular diagram is going to look like. Basically, so this is our main interface. Collection interface. Right. So from the collection interface, now what we are doing here, we are trying to extending one interface called list interface and another interface called set interface and another interface called queue interface. Getting another interface called queue interface. So these are the main interfaces. So list, set interface and queue interface. Getting the point. So the hierarchy we are having like this. Getting the point. So this is the way we are having the relation here, and in between, so we are having here sorted set, and between we are going to have navigable set, and here we are having so DQ. Getting the point. So this is, we need to understand very carefully here. So if you observe, the set is like sorted set is extending. Sorted set is extending from the set, and so this is navigable set. Getting the point. Navigable set, and finally, so this is DQ. So if you observe here, the hierarchy we are having like this. And this is correct. This is the way the collection, the interfaces are extended, and this is the way they are having the relation between each and every collection class here. Right. Now what we need to understand here, so up to this, what we discuss here, these are the sections we discuss interfaces concepts. Now we need to focus on the implementation classes. Carrying the point. So we need to focus on the implementation classes. So each interfaces, carrying the point, each interfaces is having one implementation class or more than one implementation classes. So minimum one interface is going to have one implementation class. Okay, so let's see what are the implementation classes we are having. So basically, so the implementation classes here, we are going to have full implementation classes or partial implementation classes. Correct the point. So full implementation classes as well as some of the partial implementation classes. So we'll try to understand the partial implementation classes here. Correct the point. We try to understand the partial implementation class. The first partial implementation classes, abstract collection. So now you can see abstract collection is our abstract class. Now you can see, so this is an abstract class. The name of the class we are having abstract collection, and which is implementing from the collection. Now what you are understanding here? So the hierarchy here, if you observe, here we are going to have one more relation that is called abstract collection. Cutting the point. So here we are having the relation from the abstract collection to this particular interface called collection. Cutting the point. Now you can see here, abstract collection is implementing from collection interface. So this is an abstract class. Now, whenever we are making the class as abstract here, we identified already in the previous classes. So when we are going to make the class as abstract here, so some of the method, if we are not implementing, so then we are going to make the particular class as a abstract here. So whenever we are trying to implement this particular collection interface, so we already discussed the particular method which are available in the collection interface. So what are the methods the collection interface is having? So these many methods the collection interface is having. Right. Now what we need to focus here. So whether these particular methods are implemented or not. Carrying the point. So whether these particular methods are implemented or not, now we need to understand here. The first method, so we need to check size method. So let me open here. Observe the size method is not yet implemented. So they are making the method as a abstract. And iterator method. Iterator method is not yet implemented. Now you can see, so isEmpty method is implemented. So there is no abstract. And now we can focus here. So they're having open brace and close brace, so that we can understand the particular method is implemented. Where it is implemented? In the class called abstract collection. Okay. So now we can understand here, if we are not implementing, so these two methods, now what we can do? So we need to make the class as a abstract. So this information we already identified in the previous example here. Okay. Now we will understand here. So what are the methods they implemented here? Okay. Now we identified. So these two methods are not yet implemented, and size method is implemented. Now we can observe contains method. But if you observe carefully, so the contains method internally, so which is expecting iterator here. But here now you can focus here, the iterator method is not yet implemented. So the iterator method is not yet implemented. Getting the point. So where this particular iterator is implemented. Right. Now we will focus. So in the which class this particular iterator is implemented. Okay. Observe. So just focus on the contains method is implemented, and so toArray also implemented, but internally, so the toArray is expecting size method. The toArray method is expecting size method. The size is not yet implemented. Right. So toArray method. The toArray method also internally, which is expecting size method. Okay. The size is not yet implemented. We identified, and after this, so it is a finish to toArray method. So add method. Now what you are understanding here? So this particular add method is so implemented, but when we are trying to call this particular add method, now what happens internally? So we are going to get an exception, but object is not adding here. Directly it is throwing an exception here. So we'll see when we are trying to call this particular add method, so whether we are going to get an exception or we are going to add an element. We'll see. So after completion of this particular abstract classes here. Getting the point. Now you can observe remove method. So the remove method is implemented, but internally, which is expecting iterator. Right. Now observe. So again, we are having contains all. Getting the point. So contains all. Now you need to focus carefully. The contains method internally calling this particular loop call for each loop here, and internally, so they are checking the condition. Right. While checking the condition, they're trying to add. So whether this particular object is having or not. If it is not having, so they are going to return false. So otherwise, it will return true. And while calling this particular contains method, internally, they are going to add an element here. And add all method. So carefully observe this particular add all method. So with help of this particular loop, we are trying to add an element here. So if the particular add method is trying to return true, so now we are trying to identifying here. So modify true, and whatever the modification we made, so this is we are trying to return. So otherwise we are going to return as a false here. Getting the point. So this is all about the add all method. So how it is implemented here. So internally, what we need to focus here, add method. The add method here, it is not adding any element, so it's throwing an exception. So we'll see how this particular add method is going to work. Okay. So remove method we identified. The same way we need to focus on the remove all. So this is the iterator internally calling, and based on this particular iterator, so they are calling the objective remove method here. Now focus here. So retain all. So retain all, basically it's going to check. So whatever the collection object we are passing here, whatever the collections objects are going to condition satisfied, the both objects are going to match here. So those objects will return, and remaining objects are going to remove here when we are trying to call the retain all method here. Okay, now we can see. So clear method. The clear method, now you can see based on this particular iterator, so they are trying to remove the object here. So whenever we are trying to remove the object here, what happens internally? So all the objects are going to remove from our collection here. So this is the toString method. Now you can see with the help of this particular string builder, so they are trying to appending here. Now you can see there is no conditions here. So the loop is going to repeat multiple times here. So based on that, we are getting the particular message here. Right. So this is all about so some of the methods are implemented, and only, so how many methods not yet implemented here? Only 2 methods not yet implemented. So what are the 2 methods not yet implemented? The first method called size, and another method called iterator. So now what we can do, we need to focus on to the 2 methods here. Okay, so first abstract class here. Cutting the bin. So this is the first abstract class called abstract collection, and which is implementing from the collection. Right. And the same way, now what we can do. Basically, this is the main interface we identified. So for this particular main interface we are having, so this is our main abstract class. Okay, so whatever this particular second interface, carrying the point. So this is our second interface list here. So we need to focus. So what is so this particular list is having any abstract class or not? So this particular list is having any abstract class or not? We need to focus here. Now observe, we are having one more abstract class here. Abstract list. Carefully observe abstract list. Abstract list is a abstract class of for this particular list interface. Now focus carefully. Now focus carefully here. So abstract list, and abstract list is extending from the abstract collection. Abstract list is extending from the abstract collection. So just now we discussed about this particular abstract collection, and so which is implementing from the list interface. So see the hierarchy here. This particular list interface is extending from the collection interface, and the abstract collection is implementing from the collection interface, and abstract list is extending from the abstract collection. Right. So finally we are reaching into the so the particular collection interface, so as well as abstract collection extend class, abstract class called abstract collection. Right. Now, so what we can understand here, so what are the methods are implemented inside this particular abstract list. Now observe, so add method. Again, they implemented add method. Right. So basically we identified the add method. So in the abstract collection, so it's throwing some exception here, unsupported exception. But now you can see again in the abstract list class also the add method is implemented. Now we need to focus here. So add method internally calling one more add method. So this particular add method internally calling one more add method, and by calling the size here. By calling the size here. Getting the point. Now what you are understanding here, so this particular add method we already discussed in the list interface, so which is expecting the size. So size is nothing but, now we can understand here, so add method, so first parameter it is a int index, so into index here. So the parameter into index here we are passing as a size, and the second parameter we are passing as a element here. Now we can focus here. So the second parameter we are having element here. The first parameter we are having index here. The index parameter we are passing as a size here. So when we are trying to insert the first element here, the size will become 0. Right. So when we are trying to insert the second value, the size will become 1. So for the second value, size will become 2. Carrying the point. So this is the way the values are going to inserted into the array. Now what we need to understand here. So now this particular add method is coming from the collection interface. So internally we are calling the list interface specific method. Getting the point. The list interface specific method called add method we are calling. But here, so what we need to focus here, the difference between this method, here this particular method is not going to take any so index parameter. But list method, the list interface method, which is expecting parameter, the index parameter. The index parameter we are passing as a size here. We are passing as a size. Now, so let me focus onto the size method. Observe here, the size method is not yet implemented. Again, the size calling from the abstract collection. Getting the point. Again, the size is calling from the abstract collection. Getting the point. So back to your add method. Now we need to focus on to the add method. Observe inside this particular abstract list here. So we are calling this particular add method, and the particular add method is trying to throw an unsupported operation exception. Getting the point. Unsupported operation exception here. So this is all about the add method implemented in our abstract list. Now observe we are inside the abstract list. This is the add method. So it's trying to throw an exception. Okay, now we identified add method. So back to our add method. Now what about this particular get method? The get method is not yet implemented. Get method is not yet implemented. And now you can see set method. The set method also it's trying to throw an exception. It's trying to throw an exception. Now you can say add method just now we identified. So remove method. Remove method also it's trying to throw an exception. So index of method. Index of method. Getting the point. So now what I want to provide the information. So some of the methods are implemented and some of the methods they made as a abstract here. So whenever we are making the method as a abstract here, now we identified here. So the class we need to make as a abstract here. Right. For this particular collection interface, we are having one class called abstract collection. For list interface, we are having one abstract class called abstract list here. Getting the point. So these two we need to understand carefully here. So these two we need to understand very carefully here. Okay. So back to here for the another method. Now what we can do for the another interface here, we need to understand here. So what is our abstract class? For collection and list we already identified here. So what about this particular set interface? Let me open this particular abstract set. Abstract set here. Right. Now, so this is the abstract class for set interface. Now you can understand here. So abstract set class is extending from the abstract collection and which is implementing from the set interface. Getting the point. So set interface does not have any specific method. So whatever the methods we are having, so those are the methods coming from the collection interface. And now you can see, so they override the equals method, like they implemented the equals method, hash code method they implemented, and remove all method. Remove all method. Getting the point. So they implemented these three methods. Now what we need to understand here. So what about the remaining methods? The remaining method we need to focus here the normal implementation class. Basically, this particular abstract set is a abstract class here. Abstract set is a abstract class because the remaining method is not yet implemented inside this particular class. So they are making this class as a abstract here. So they are making this particular class as a abstract here. Getting the point. So this is the abstract class for set interface. Right. Now we identified. So what about this particular sorted set? Whether we are having this particular, so the abstract class for the sorted set or not, we need to understand. So abstract sorted set. Getting the point. So we don't have any abstract class. What about this particular navigable? For the navigable interface also, we don't have any abstract class. We don't have any abstract class here. Now what you understand here? So this is the class which we are going to use for the remaining two interfaces here. So what is the class we are going to use? The class called abstract set. So abstract set we are going to use for the sorted set and navigable set as a abstract class. Right. Now we identify the set interfaces here. So list we identified and we identified this particular set. Now we need to move on to the queue interface. So the queue interface is having any abstract class or not, we need to understand here. Okay, let me open this particular class called abstract queue. Abstract queue. Getting the point. Now we will see. So this is the abstract queue is the abstract class. Abstract queue is our abstract class. Now you can see which is extending from the abstract collection, and it is implementing from the queue interface. Getting the point. Now we need to focus. So what are the specific methods having inside this particular queue interface, whether the methods are implemented or not. Okay, observe. So add method is implemented and internally it is calling offer method. So if it is written true, So they are returning true. Otherwise, we identified, so it's throwing an illegal state of exception. Right. Now, so what about this particular remove method? Internally, remove method is expecting on poll method. Getting the point. So now you can see element method. The element method is expecting on peak method. Right. Now you can see, so clear method. Clear method also, so is expecting on pool. Is expecting on poll method. So this is the last method called add all. Getting the point. So some of the methods are implemented and some of the methods are not yet implemented. Now you can see the poll method is not yet implemented, offer method is not yet implemented. Getting the point. And peak method also not yet implemented here. So because of this, so this particular class they made as a abstract here. Because of this, the particular class they made as a abstract here. Getting the point. Now we identified here. So Q is an interface. Abstract Q is our abstract class because it is a partially implemented. It is not fully implemented here. Right. So what about this particular abstract queue? So abstract queue is completed and we are having DQ interface. So the DQ interface is extending from the queue interface. Now we need to focus whether we are having abstract DQ. So abstract DQ is our abstract class we are having or not. We don't have. Now what we need to understand here, for the queue interface and the DQ interface, we are having only one abstract class called abstract queue. Getting the point. So these are the main abstract classes here. So these are the main abstract classes we need to understand here. So abstract collection, abstract list, and abstract set, and finally abstract queue. So these are the main abstract classes we identified. Now we need to focus on to the implementation classes. So let me redesign this particular diagram here. Getting the point. So we need to redesign this particular section of class here. Now observe. So this is the collection interface. Getting the point. And this is our abstract collection. Getting the point. Now, so what I want to provide here, this is our list interface. This is our set interface. This is our queue interface. Let me write here the interface names here. Set interface and queue interface. Getting the point. And finally, so this particular list is having abstract list, and this particular set is having abstract set, and this particular queue is having abstract queue. So let me define the name of the abstract classes here. Abstract set and abstract queue. The point. So these are the interfaces as well as abstract classes. Right. Now, so this particular interfaces are having another interfaces here. So sorted set and navigable set, and here we need to focus on to the DQ. Sorted set, navigable set, and here DQ. Getting the point. So the hierarchy, how we are going to have? So this particular list interface is directly is extending from the collection here, and abstract list is implementing from the list interface, and as well as so which is extending from the abstract collection, and abstract collection is implementing from the collection interface. Abstract collection is implementing from the collection here, right? Now you can see, so this particular navigable set is extending from the sorted set, and this particular sorted set, what happens internally? So now is implementing from the set interface, here. Getting the point. And what we need to focus here, so this particular abstract set is implementing from this particular set interface, and so this particular abstract set here is extending from the abstract collection. So carefully observe how we are going to have the hierarchy here. How we are going to have this particular hierarchy here. Right. Now, so finally, we need to focus here the queue. Queue we are having here. Queue we are having directly is implementing from the abstract queue is implementing from the queue interface, and this particular so this particular abstract queue again is extending from the abstract collection, and so this particular DQ is extending from the this particular queue. DQ is extending from the queue interface, and this particular queue is extending from the collection. Again, this particular queue is extending from the collection, and the same way, so set. So this particular set also is extending from the collection. So now observe the hierarchy here. How? So the hierarchy we are having here. Getting the point. All the abstract classes are extending from the abstract collection. So this is our super class. This is our super class for all the abstract classes. So we are having 3 abstract classes here. Totally 4 for the one is a main abstract class, and the remaining 3 as a subclasses of the main classes here. Abstract list, abstract set, and abstract queue. Right. Whatever, like however we are having this particular 3 interfaces, we are having the main interface called collection. Same way for this particular abstract classes, we are going to have one main abstract class here. So that is called abstract collection, and some of the sub of the sub abstract classes we are having abstract list and abstract set and abstract queue. Correct the point. So these are the abstract classes. Now we need to focus on to the normal class. The normal class will contain all the methods are implemented here. Getting the point. All methods are implemented here. So now observe here. So what are the normal classes we are having? So those are classes are so implemented all the methods which are coming from the list interface or set interface or queue interface and collection interface Okay. So back to here, for this particular list interface, first I am going to discuss about the list interface. Later we'll focus on to the set interface, and later we'll focus on to the queue interface. Getting the point? So every time we need to understand this particular diagram here. Getting the point? So this particular diagram is going to provide more information how each and every the particular classes are implemented here, right? So back here, first we need to focus on to this particular list interface here. So this particular list interface is having two important classes. So what are the two important classes here? The first one, array list. The first one we need to focus on to the array list, and the second class we need to focus on to the linked list, right? So first we'll see how this particular array list is going to work. Getting the point? Now I want to define here, so the implementation class here, array list. Array list. Getting the point? So this particular array list is extending from so these are the classes. Getting the point? So whenever this class is extending, now we can see how the relation we are going to have. Getting the point? So we are having abstract list relation and list interface relation, and abstract collection interface, abstract collection class relation here, and finally collection interface. So finally we are going to have the collection interface. Let me open this particular class first. Array list. So now you can see, so array list class does not have any abstract keyword. Getting the point? Array list does not have any keyword called abstract list here. Now what you are understanding here? So it is fully implemented class. Getting the point? It is fully implemented class. Okay. Now observe, so this class is extending from the abstract list, and which is implementing from the list interface. We already focus here, abstract list is extending from the abstract collection, and the list is extending from the collection. Getting the point? So don't confuse here if they are not providing the information. So implicitly, getting the point? Implicitly they are trying to extend from the abstract collection as well as collection interface. Okay. So back to here, now what we need to focus here. So whatever the methods we are having from the collection interface, and whatever the methods we are having from the list interface, because so this class is implementing from the list interface. This class is implementing from the list interface here. Getting the point? Okay. So let me provide each and every method. So, and initially we need to focus on to this particular variable here. Getting the point? So this is a variable here. Now observe, so what is the access modifier and how we are trying to work here. Now we can see this the variable they made as a private, and it is a static, and it is a final. So can I know if I'm going to make this particular private, can we access from this particular class called abstract queue? Can we access this particular abstract queue or abstract set or abstract list? So whatever the property they implemented, like they provided called default capacity. So this particular property we cannot access from the other classes here. We cannot access from the other classes here, even though they are in the same package or they are extending. Getting the point? Because of this particular private access modifier here, right? So what about this particular static here? The static without object, we are going to access this particular variable information, right? Now what about this particular final? Basically the final variable cannot be modified here. So whatever the variable we provided here, the same variable we are going to use, but we are not going to change here. Now what you are understanding here? So whenever we are trying to create this particular array list here, so what is the default capacity we are having here? So the default capacity we are having 10. Getting the point. So default capacity we are having 10. Now what you are understanding here? So we can insert up to 10 elements here. So by default we can insert 10 elements here. Okay. So this is very important, and same way we are going to have one more variable called empty element data. One more variable called empty element data, and this the type we are having int, and this particular variable type we are having as a object array. Getting the point? So we are having the type called object array. So why they are making a object array? Getting the point? So why they are making object array? Getting the point? So we'll see. So why they implemented object array here. So now focus on to the name of the variable empty element data. Okay. And now we can see. So one more we are having here. So default capacity empty element data. Default capacity empty element data. And another one we need to focus here element data. Another one. So we can focus here element data. Now what you are understanding here, and this is the transient variable. So basically now you can see non-private to simplify the nested classes access. They are providing some comment here, but basically what I want to provide here. So this particular element data is not going to work on the serialization concepts here. So we'll see how this particular serialization concepts are going to work. But observe. So what is the information they are providing here? Right. Now, so these are the main variable we need to understand here. The default capacity and empty element data, default capacity element data, and finally, so size variable. Getting the point. Now, observe here, these are the constructors here. So these are the constructors we need to understand here. Because the array list is the class we identified, the name of the class they provided, and now you can see, so which is expecting one parameter, so initial capacity. Getting the point. Now observe, so if this particular initial capacity is greater than 0, now what they are doing internally, so observe carefully, so what they are doing here. So can you please let me know, so what they are doing here. The line number 155, so what they are doing here. Now you need to interact with me, because so these are the very important concepts we are discussing right now. So if you are understanding the implementation of each constructor or each method, so we can easily understand the each collection implementation class information. Each collection class information here. Carrying the pen. Now observe if this particular condition is satisfying. So what they are doing here. I just want to know answer 155, the line number 155. So what they are trying to do here. So can you please let me know like what you are trying to think. No idea? Oh my God. So this is basically it is very important here. Every new entry element. So this is not it is not an element here. So just we are providing the integer value. So it is a capacity like how many elements we can store here. Basically we are creating a object array. It is not an object here. We are creating object array. So there is a difference between object and object array. Getting the point? So now you can think here, if I'm trying to providing this particular value as a 5. Getting the point? So this particular initial capacity, if I'm going to provide as a 5, now what happens internally? So we are creating 5 objects here. New object array is nothing but, so let me, one second, Eclipse is not responding. So array test, I want to create a name of the class. Basically, so this is different. Getting the point? So this is different. Here we need to specify 5. Getting the point? Now observe carefully. So this is, we are having only one object here, but here we are going to insert 5 objects here. So this is the difference we need to understand here. Observe carefully here. So what is the brace they are using? Getting the point? So this particular brace is important here. Right. Now you can see element data. It is a object array type. It is a object array type. It is not a object type. Getting the point? So this is, we need to think very carefully here. Now what you are understanding is, when we are calling this particular constructor, if the constructor, the condition is whatever the value we are going to provide, if it is a greater than 0, so we are creating, so based on the capacity object array. So inside this particular object array, empty values are inserted. Just we are creating an array of objects here, but the values we are not yet storing here. Getting the point? Because we already discussed some more example on the array related concepts here. So this particular array list is going to work on the arrays concepts here. So if you understand how the arrays concepts are going to work, you can easily understand what I am trying to explain here. Okay. Now observe, if it is a initial capacity is a 0, now what they are doing is, they are creating empty element data. Getting the point? So empty element data. Empty element data is nothing but, so they declare the object array. So they are not having any element here. They are not having any element here. So otherwise, we'll throw an exception. Illegal argument exception. If you are trying to providing minus values here, we'll get an exception here. We'll get an exception. So this is, we need to think about this particular constructor. Right. So same way, so what are the another constructor we are having? This is the default constructor. Now you can see default capacity element data. So they, even though if it is the default capacity element data, so they just declare the object array. They are not providing any information. And another constructor we are having here. So collection, like one more collection is expecting. So based on this, so what they are doing is, they are calling internally toArray method, and so they are checking the condition, and if the condition is satisfying it, internally they are calling copy of method. So the copy of method is coming from the where? Arrays class. Getting the point? So based on this particular arrays class, so the elements are going to copy it into this particular element data, and so it will store into the particular element data. Okay, now Now observe carefully. So we identified here, so array list is our implementation class for this particular list interface. For this particular list interface here. Carrying the point. So what are the methods we are having in the collection interface? So as well as what are the methods we are having in the list interface? So one by one method we are going to discuss. Carrying the point. And what is the advantages we are going to get when we're trying to work for this particular array list class? So basically, the first advantage we are going to get, array list, it's going to increase dynamically and it's going to decrease dynamically. Getting the point? So we need to understand here, the arrays are going to increase dynamically. So I just want to know, I created one array here. The array call here, so int array I'm creating. Getting the point? So this particular int array I've created like this. So this particular array, so based on the values, it's going to increase automatically. So it will increase or not? So can I know this particular answer? No. Correct the point. So arrays are not going to increase here. So based on this particular size, correct the point. So based on this particular size, the arrays are going to store the values. If I'm trying to insert more than the size, we are going to get an exception. But now if you observe, this particular array list, it's going to increase dynamically and it's going to decrease dynamically. Getting the point. So how it's going to increase, we must know. Getting the point. So how it's going to increase dynamically, like what is the logic is implemented internally, we need to focus here. Getting the point. So to focus the increment and the decrement, now what we need to understand, first we need to focus on to the capacity here. If I'm trying to insert more than the capacity, now what happens internally, right? And along with this, okay, so first we'll see how this particular array list is going to increase here. Now we identify the constructors here. Now we identify the constructors. So let me create an object of this particular implementation class called array list here. So array list here. And so type I want to make as a string. The element type I'm making as a string here. It is a generic type. Correct the point. Array list is also one of the generic type. Now you can see, so AL I'm calling. I'm not providing, getting the point. So basically, I'm not giving any capacity here. Getting the point. So in the constructor base, I'm not providing any capacity value. So what is the default capacity we are going to get? So what is the default capacity we are going to get for this particular array list here? 10. Right. Now, so what we need to focus here? So if I'm going to insert the 11th element here, correct the point. If I'm going to insert the 11th element, so what will happen? We need to think. Right. So let me add an element here. So I will try to add an element here. So first here al dot. So we already identified the method here, al dot add. So which is expecting the add method string here. So why it is will expect the string here? Because the type, getting the point. So the generic type we made as a string here. Getting the point. So now you can see array list class here, which is expecting E here. So the particular element type, right? So the element type here I'm providing as a string here. So the add method will expecting the values as a string here. Okay, now I want to give as a AB. Okay, Now observe, so I want to insert to more than 10 elements here. Let me count here. Okay, so we are having more than 10 elements here, right? So we'll try to, okay, we'll change the values here. So CD, F, so GH will keep as it is AB, and IJ. So in between AB will keep as it is here. Right. So these are the elements I'm trying to add into this particular object called array list. Right. Now what we need to understand here. So first we need to focus constructor. Getting the point. So first we need to focus constructor. How this particular constructor is calling. Now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to run this particular application in the debug mode. Getting the point. Now carefully observe here. So if I'm going to run in the debug mode, what happens internally? So this is the constructor we are calling. Now I'm trying to move inside this particular constructor. Now you can see, so we are inside the array list class. Getting the point. Now you can see java.util.array list. Now what I'm doing here, so default capacity. So default capacity here. So it is nothing but, so this particular default capacity is not having any information. So just we declare the object array. Just we declare the object array. Right. So back to here, this particular object array information we are initializing into elementary data. Now, so what we need to focus here? Basically, we need to focus on to the elementary data. Elementary data, right? Whenever we are trying to add or delete or update or getting, everything is going to work from this particular elementary data, right? So this is the default constructor we are calling, right? So we call the default constructor. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to call add method. Now observe, again we are moving inside this particular add method. Observe here, again we are inside the add method, right? So first we need to understand what is the mod count. Mod count is 0, so it will become 1. Okay. Now what we are doing here? Internally, what we are doing here, so if you observe carefully, we are calling one more method. So we are calling one more add method. So with what are the information we are passing? First element we are passing something called AB. The element data we are passing here. As of now, the element data we are having 0 and size. So what is the size we are having? 0. Getting the point. The size is 0, element data is 0. Only we are having here the current element here. Okay. Back to here. Now I want to move inside this particular add method. Now you can see inside this particular add method we are having. Okay. So what is the element data dot length? Element to data dot length. It will become 0 because we did not added any element as of now. We did not added any elements as of now. Okay. So what is the S here? S is nothing but size. The size also 0. So whenever it is 0, now you can observe what happens internally. It is satisfying the condition. Now we need to understand so if it is satisfying this particular condition, so what is the method internally they are calling here? Observe carefully. This is the add method is a private method. Carrying the point. This is the add method is a private method. Internally, so we are going to call one more method. So that is called grow method. Okay, let me move inside this particular grow method. Now observe carefully. So this particular grow also, it is a private method. Right. Now what happens internally? Again they are going to call one more grow method. But what they are doing it? Observe here, size, what is the size we are having? 0. Now what they are doing it? Size plus 1. Size plus 1. Now what happens internally? The size will become how much here? 1. Getting the point. The size will become 1. Okay, let me move inside this particular grow method. Now observe, so what is the minimum capacity? Now you can see the minimum capacity we are having 1. Right. So now we need to focus here. So element data dot length here. The length we are having 0. The 0 we are storing into old capacity. The 0 we are storing into old capacity. And this condition is failing. So this condition will fail. Why this particular condition will fail? Because both we are having 0. So because of this, it's returning false. Okay, now what we can understand? So we need to check about this particular condition. We need to check about this particular condition. And default empty capacity and element data. So both are not equals to null. Sorry, both are not equals here. They are not checking any null here. So they are checking not equals here. And basically, here they cannot equal here. Now we'll see. So this expression also, it's returning false. Why it is returning false? Basically, both are equal. Getting the point. Now, so this entire condition is failing. Getting the point. The entire if condition is failing. So this particular basis is open here. And now you can see the 236 line number, it is closed. So when it is closed here, now what happens internally? So it will move on to the else block. It will move on to the else block. This is we already identified here. Getting the point. If the condition is failed, it will go for the else block. Right. Now we need to understand the else block here. So what is doing internally? So what exactly the else block is doing? Right. So what is the default capacity? What is the default capacity we are having? 10 here. Right. And what is the minimum capacity? Minimum capacity we are having 1. Right. And so based on this particular max here. So based on this particular max. So what is the value we are going to get? Getting the point. So how this particular max method will work? Let me open this particular math. So math class max method. So observe here what they are doing here. So they are doing internally ternary operator. They are doing internally ternary operator. So what is the A value we are going to get here? The A value we are getting as a 10 and the B value we are going to get as a 1 here. So carefully observe the max method, the first parameter we are passing as a default capacity. So that is called 10 and the minimum capacity we are passing. So that is called 1. That is called 1. And now observe here the A we are going to get as a 10. The B we are going to get as a 1. Okay, so A greater than or equals to B. A greater than or equals to B. So what is the condition it's going to satisfy? Basically, A value is a greater than to the B value here. Okay, so if the condition is returning true, so we are going to get A value. We are going to get A value. Now, what you are understanding? So this particular entire expression, getting the point. So math.max is returning 10 here. Getting the point. Now what we are doing? So with the help of this particular 10, what we are doing is we are trying to create object array. we are trying to create object array. Carefully observe, we are not storing any element here. So just we are creating an object array with the help of this particular grow method. Now observe, so it's moving to the else section. Now we can see object array, how it's going to create. Object array is created. Right. So 0 to 9. 0 to 9, it will become 10. Getting the point? Because internally, again we are creating object array. So carefully observe here, the size we are creating here, and we are not inserting any value. So the grow method is trying to return object array. So the grow method is trying to return object array. Now observe the element data. Element data we got here. Right? Element data. So we got with some empty 10 empty objects here. So here we need to focus here. So this line number 453. Now what we are doing here? Line number 453. What we are doing here? Basically, so this is the object array we identified, and so we are checking. So this particular curly brace, and internally we are providing the S. This particular S is working as a index here. Getting the point? So this particular S is working as a index here. So in the which index we are trying to store the value? Which index the value we are trying to store? In the 0 index we are trying to store the value. And what is the value we are going to store? The E value, something called AB. Okay, now observe. Now observe, you can see in the element data, in the 0 location, the A value, so in the 0 location, the AB value, it is initialized. And now we can understand here, size here. The size is increasing here. Getting the point. Now what is the S we are having? S is 0, we are making, the size will become 1. The size is increasing to the 1. Okay. Now we are going back to the add method. So now you can see true. The add method is returning true. So now what you understand here? So successfully the element is added into the particular object array. Okay, add method completed. Now we need to focus second value. Okay, again I'm moving here. So mod count is increasing. So again we are calling add method. Getting the point. So they are checking here. So what is the S here? S will become 1 and element date also will become same here. Let me see. It is returning false. So why it is returning false? Because the length we are having 10. Length we are having 10. Getting the point. And the size we are having only 1. So this method is not going to call. This method is not going to call. Only what we are doing here? So just we are trying to so initializing the particular element value in the size. The sizes we are having 1. Okay, now observe element data. So CD initialized into the first index location, and the size we are increasing it. The size will become 2. Getting the point. The size will become true. Again we are trying to return true. So EF. Getting the point. So first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, and 10 here. So again we need to focus this object here, because so the default capacity is completed. The default capacity is completed. Now we need to focus here. How this particular array list is going to increase dynamically. Getting the point. Array list is going to increase dynamically. That we need to focus here. Getting the point. Observe, again I'm trying to move the particular add method. So mod count now you can see, so 10. Getting the point. So 10 times this particular add method is called. Again I'm moving into this particular, so add. So, okay, so still it is returning false. For the next time, maybe it will satisfy the condition. So this maybe this method is going to satisfy the condition. So add method. Let me check this particular condition. Now observe. Now observe. Now what we are doing here. So if the condition is satisfying here, now what happens internally? So they are calling grow method. They are calling the grow method. Now again, so we need to check up the grow method here. So I want to move inside this particular grow method. What is the size we are having? So size we are having 10. The size will become 11 and we are calling the grow method. The minimum capacity we are having 11 and so we'll check for the old capacity. So what is the old capacity we are having 10 and now observe. So this particular condition is going to satisfy or not. So the condition is satisfying. So now you can see they're having or condition. They're having or condition. If this particular condition is satisfying, we don't want to check about this particular condition. We don't want to check about the right side condition. Cutting the point. Basically, OR operator, how it's going to work. So once the right side operator is returning true, so the entire expression will become true. A condition is returning true, the expression will become true. So otherwise, it's going to check for the B condition. Right? Now, okay. Now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to enter into the if condition. So this is very important here. So this particular section of code, getting the point, this particular section of code only, so it's going to give you the dynamically growing the behavior of this particular array list. So it's going to work on the based on this particular code. Getting the point. Okay, now we need to understand here. So basically, now what we are doing is, so they are trying to find out the new capacity here. They are trying to find out the new capacity. Old capacity we are having 10 and minimum capacity we are having 11 and between here minimum capacity and old capacity. So what is the value we are going to get here? So that will become 1. Getting the point. Basically, new length method which is expecting here 3 parameters here. 3 parameters is expecting here. Old length, so minimum growth and so preferable growth here. So getting the point. Now we identified old capacity is 10 and the minimum capacity we are getting 1 and here, so this is we need to understand here the preferable capacity here 5 here. Getting the point. So based on this particular bitwise operator, now we are going to get the old capacity 5. Now what we need to understand here, based on this particular new length, what is the value we are getting here? Okay, here we are having array support cannot be resolved here. Okay, so based on this particular new length method, now we'll see what is the value we are getting 50. Getting the point. New capacity, how much we got? 50. Right. Now, so what they are doing here? Getting the point. New capacity 50. Already we are having the data into elemental data. Getting the point. So as of now, how many elements we added? All the elements are stored into this particular object array. Getting the point. Now, so we are trying to insert one more element. The capacity already it's filled. So based on this particular arrays dot copy of method, what is doing here? Based on this particular new capacity, so they are creating one more object array and will copy the existing values into the newly created object array and it will return the newly created object array. Now observe, so we are moving into this particular copy of method, so which is resides inside the arrays class here. Okay, internally, again they're calling copy of method. So now we are moving inside this particular copy of method. So don't confuse here. So with the help of this particular copy of method only, we are going to understand here. We are going to understand here how the values are going to copy. Okay, original. These are the original, and this is the new length, and object type here we are having. So object here. Okay, now what we are doing here. So based on this particular, so this particular condition is going to satisfy new type and object class, both that are having same here. Now you can see basically what I want to provide, this condition is going to satisfy. If it is satisfying here, now what they are doing is with the help of this particular new length, cutting the point, with the help of this particular new length, new object array is creating. New object array is creating, cutting the point. And so based on this particular object array, cutting the point. So this condition is satisfying. Copy. Now this particular copy we need to focus. How many elements we can store? Up to 15. So 0 to 14 is nothing but it is a 15. 0 to 14 is nothing but a 15. Right? So 15 elements we are going to store. So newly created object to be identified. But how the objects, old objects are going to copy. So this is the original. So this is our original object. Now we are storing into copy object. Right? And with the help of this particular minimum capacity, so based on that, we are again calling system.arrayCopy, and it will return copied object here. And now we can see copied object. So 0 to 9. Getting the point. So 0 to 9, these are the existing object, and so 10 to 14, we are going to insert the value. We are going to, so whatever the newly object we are going to insert, so those objects are going to insert it here. Getting the point. So this is the way the object is going to growing here. Getting the point. So based on this particular grow method, so based on some conditions here, the object is growing here. Now you can see in the 10th location, the object is stored. Getting the point. Now the size is increasing. What is the size we are having? 11. The size will become 11. So true we are returning. Same way, this particular add method is going to return. Same way, this particular add method is going to add, and it will return the object here. Getting the point. So any questions? The default constructor as well as add method. Add method. So let me know if anyone having any questions. Okay. Now what I want to do, here I want to print here AL. So this is the AL I want to print. So directly without stopping the application, I'm printing here. Now, so observe here, so how we are getting this particular break and how we are getting this particular comma. So with the comma, how this particular objects are printing. How this particular braces and a comma. Getting the point. Now what I want to do, so go to the, again, array list class. Go to the array list class. Where is, so toString method, okay. toString Okay, we'll put a breakpoint from the abstract collection. Getting the point. We'll put a breakpoint from the abstract collection here. Basically, the toString method is not yet implemented in the class called ArrayList. So basically, it is a common method. Because of this common method, it is implemented in the superclass called abstract collection. Okay. Now I want to debug the application. So this particular breakpoint I want to close because we already identified. Now you can see, so toString method is called. So now we can focus abstract collection toString method is called. So iterator we are calling. So this is the iterator. We'll see later recording this particular object information. But now what we need to focus here, expected mod count we are having 12. So around we are having 12 object we inserted into this particular object here. Now you can see, so this is the array list here. Okay, now, so we are coming back to the string builder. We are appending and now you can understand what is the element we are having. The first element we are getting here, right? So based on this particular, so E equals to this. So this is the collection, otherwise E. So this is equals to this, and basically this condition is not going to satisfy. Carrying the point, element and current object. We are having current object is array list, and we are checking with one element here. Okay, so this condition is returning true. If it is returning true, we already identified the element we are going to return. Okay, so if it is returning, what you are understanding is, so we are trying to append here. Okay, observe. So carefully observe one open brace and the particular element here, and so what they are doing here, that they are trying to check this particular one more time. Now observe. So here this condition is not satisfying. This particular condition is not satisfying here. Now what you are understanding is, so they are trying to append with one comma and some space here. Getting the point. Now observe here, SB object here. The particular SB object, now you can see open base, the particular element, comma, and some space here. So carefully observe, we are having some space here. Right. So this is the way the objects are going to appended here. Okay. Now observe again. So the loop is repeating here. Again, the loop is repeating here. So next element. Again, now you can understand here. So CD. Right. Comma, some space. So next year. So comma. So up to observe here. So we need to understand the E. Getting the point. So observe how these particular objects are having. So space with the commas. Right. Now we need to understand here the final output here. Now you can see. So finally this particular condition is satisfying. So basically this is the infinity loop. Getting the point. This is the infinity loop. Now we don't have a condition here. This section of code we discussed in the earlier concepts here when we are trying to work on the for loop here, because there is no initialization section and there is no condition section and there is no iteration section. Carrying the point. So we don't have everything. Carrying the point. If we are not providing everything, So this particular loop, it will return, it will try to return multiple times here. So it's not going to stop here. So this particular loop, we are going to call it as a infinity loop. But here, the infinity loop also we are stopping based on this particular return here. Based on this particular return. Now you can see we are inside the loop here. Now, if this particular has nest condition is not it's satisfying here, so they are trying to appending here and they are returning true. Now you can see, so with the space, we are not getting any space here, final record. So directly it's going to close here. The brace will close here. Getting the point? The particular brace will close. Observe here, the brace is closed with AB. Right? So this is the way the two-string method is implemented. Getting the point? This is the way the two-string method is implemented here. So this is very important. We need to understand here. Getting the point? So this is all about the default constructor, add method, as well as the two-string method we discuss here. So tomorrow we'll try to understand the basic methods here. Getting the point? So tomorrow we'll understand what are the methods we are having, like how the methods are implemented. So list interface methods and collection related interface methods here. Okay. So any questions regarding our current class? Okay. So if we don't have anything, so we'll continue tomorrow.